vehicle he's driving. That seems to be one of the big questions for me. So that gives you an idea that maybe he is familiar with it. Maybe it's just choosing an off-ramp up here. Again, though, pursuit's been going on for some time. There is a possibility. It's just a possibility that that driver might not have noticed or heard the lights and sirens. I'm just kind of throwing things out there. He's got rear-view mirrors. I'm sure he saw those reds and blues in his back, behind him. But it looks like he just kind of got out of the carpool lane, now established in the middle, slowing down some, which is a good sign. Every time these vehicles slow down, you just, like I said, with something like this, you just don't want to see it end poorly. You don't want to see a big vehicle like that colliding with a car and or anything else, even injuring the driver inside that bus. And as far as we know, that's what we were doing just moments ago, trying to look in through that front windshield just to see what we could see, just grab a gander. And, the only thing we can confirm is, the obvious. There's just the driver. Right now, though, doesn't look like he's pulling over. That was just wishful thinking. This pursuit continuing, make its way into the Van Nuys area, past Burbank Boulevard, and the speeds seem to be picking up again. Traffic, it's about what you see right there. It's going to be moderate. I would say moderate. It's a lot of cars, but they're all moving at or above freeway speeds. Welcome to California. And, there you go. It's just making its way. Right now, California Highway Patrol, they've been switching it out like we've talked about before. Came into a different division. But those officers, they continue on. One of them staying and right now being joined by other officers from the West Valley area. Yeah. Well, it was at 80. Now we've dropped down to actually 65. Just now I heard them talking, calling it out. They said they're actually established at 65 miles an hour. Maybe that driver, I've said it before, maybe he's just thinking, oh, I'll just play it cool, start, following the rules here, and they'll just back off. But speed wasn't the reason why they tried to pull this thing over. It came up as a stolen vehicle, and that leads to what a big vehicle loaded down with a lot of accessories. It can take up to 25 people. I'm hoping it's just the driver in there. But does this person understand or know about the vehicle he's driving? That seems to be one of the big questions for me. So that gives you an idea that maybe he is familiar with it. Maybe it's a disgruntled employee. Who knows? I mean, we could go through a list of things. But stolen is what it is. And California Highway Patrol, they're kind of tasked with, all right, okay, this vehicle's stolen. We want to pull it over. We want to get that driver into custody. But how do you stop that? How are you going to stop this thing right now? Spike strips. That'd probably be the first thing most viewers would say at home is just throw some spike strips. But you're driving on the freeway. The freeways are separated enough where you can actually deploy those spike strips. Pit maneuver. It might be possible, not at these speeds, that's for sure. It's kind of a misnomer, Bobby, about the size, because it's going to be so big. The reality is that, that the pit probably could be, done with a vehicle that size. It's just the speeds have to be slower. Maybe he's got to be on a turn, a little bit of physics. Don't ask me, I'm just a guy in a helicopter, but it can be done. But right now, the only thing they can do is kind of warn the public, like, hey, this guy could be dangerous. Lights and sirens are on. They're just behind him. Bobby, it's interesting that you're reading our minds. This is what I love working with the family here at Fox. You talk about that. We just got information from this California Highway Patrol helicopter how this thing was found. Apparently, the owner of the company was the one that tracked it down and was actually following it, got a hold of California Highway Patrol, said, hey, my bus is right here. It is stolen. It's been reported stolen. Come and get it. And was waiting, or that guy might actually still be trailing behind because speeds were not so excessive. But that's how this vehicle got found on the 405. And like you said, could have most likely came from San Diego. This vehicle seems to be on a mission, like you said. Looks like we're going to be going northbound on the 405. We've been staying north. He's got a couple of options, but in the lanes he's in, it looks like 405 is going to be where we're going to stay for a little bit. This takes us onto the 5. Maybe he had a plan to go up north somewhere. We just don't know. Right now, I can tell you, California Highway Patrol, they're behind it. Confirmed stolen vehicle. Like you said, thank goodness, not dangerous. This guy's not changing lanes or being very aggressive. But again, it's that how do you stop this thing? How do you get that driver possibly to change their minds and pull over, opposed to just continuing on? And something else. I'm not. Our Google, let's just be honest, don't have enough internet to go to Google right now. But I'm kind of wondering if a bus like that has the ability to have extended tanks. So maybe this thing can just keep going and going and going, possibly all the way up to San Francisco without running out of fuel. So right now, we're front of. Right, and right now he's driving extremes. He's picking up his speed a little bit. There was this area right here, a little bit of an uphill grade, going to be more of an uphill grade here in just a moment or two. Got some information from our assignment desk saying that most likely that vehicle has a 100-gallon tank. I'm going to work with Angie here for just a second. It is behind us. It just transitioned onto the 5. So, these are things that we're thinking about. Also, it's probably, I'm guessing, it's a diesel. Something that big is a diesel. So, again, we just don't know who's in there, why this is going on. That's also the big curiosity. Who took this vehicle, who that driver is. And, California Highway Patrol, these guys, really good at their jobs. And, it almost sounds like, I'm poking fun at them, but I'm not. They are excellent at their jobs. And, there is some sort of plan coming up. I'm just letting you people know, because in the past when I've basically called out what's going on, I've been called out myself. People are saying, oh, he's letting them know. I really hope he's sitting down there watching us right now, maybe on some app, being safe while driving. But, the reality is probably he is not. So we can talk about things like that, but they are making a plan. They're not just there. Right now it isn't just we're going to follow them. And they're making their way. We're established on the 5 freeway now, coming up to the Newhall Pass, 210 freeway coming up as well. But it does seem like, he is kind of hanging over there. He could jump onto the 210 at the last moment, but it seems like he's determined to go north, seeing how he came from San Diego. So my guess, staying on the 5, we're going to be coming up through the Newhall Pass. He has that 14 choice coming up as well. But right now, better than freeway speeds is what I can say. That vehicle is moving along at a good clip. We haven't seen him make any dangerous lane changes. And California Highway Patrol, they're making their presence known. So that you can see one of those officers kind of off to the side, another one right behind it, and I believe that that plan is basically to kind of let that driver know that, you know, you have several officers back here, and we want you to pull over. You know, it's one of those command presence type of situations, but that driver, Justin was telling me, seemed to be very relaxed behind the wheel, one hand on the wheel, just kind of driving along this afternoon. And again, now definitely starting to hit a grade, so you might see that thing slow down a little bit. But continuing northbound, California Highway Patrol, they got their hands full, but they are making some plans, and hopefully they'll be able to execute them, and we'll see how that goes. Up 14. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. Right. Well, you know, right now I can tell you that you made a quick change right there, got onto the 14 freeway. California Highway Patrol, they've got to switch it up a little bit. We've talked about this in the past, just like all law enforcement. California Highway Patrol have areas and that they, divisions as it would be, that they patrol. The 14 is going to put them in the Newhall, or put them with Newhall, so they're going to be changing up some of those cars. I can see one of them really making a move down there, trying to kind of catch up and fall into place. And maybe even pass. Yep, that guy's is passing. So that might be one of the vehicles that might have that plan that we talked about going on. So he's probably going to try to make his way well ahead of what you see right there. Right now, though, the pursuit continues down there, and they're just only thing they can do right now is follow along, kind of warn the public. The vehicle moving a little faster than freeway speeds. This part of the 14 downhill, so you got gravity working for them. But it's, you know, as we make our way into the Santa Clarita area, it's going to really, you know, you're going to have to start climbing. So gas mileage is going to go down. I heard him say that, you know, newer bus, it does. It looks like a brand new or almost new vehicle. So again, just keep an eye on it right now. Also kind of wondering, is it just the driver in there? Are there other people in there? How are the officers going to treat this situation when this thing comes to an end? How are they going to clear that bus? Are they going to have to? So those things are kind of interesting as well, how they're going to handle all that stuff when this thing comes to a stop. I don't know. He's getting off the freeway. Where's he at? He's right out my door. Yeah, he's still clearly he's literally 9 low, 9 straight down. He's changing lanes. I thought he was going to get off the freeway. Thank you for that. We have some audio issues up here right now. This where our location. Bobby, I'm sorry. I love the chat. I love the conversation and the throw back and forth. But right now, unable to do that because of the FM radios. I can tell you though, this vehicle continues to move. We were kind of hopeful that because he was way over in the right lane there for a little bit, and was kind of hopeful maybe he's just going to get off the freeway. It seems to be one of those chases where there's a destination. This driver has an idea where he or she wants to take that vehicle. We understand it started company was the one that located the vehicle, got a hold of California Highway Patrol. That was somewhere in the Mar Vista Mar Vista area, and then that's where we picked it up as well. And this thing has just been continuing northbound. We were on the 405, we were on the 5, now we're on the 14. Technically still the Santa Clarita area, but the bus itself just driving, as we've been saying. It isn't anything crazy dramatic. We haven't seen the vehicle cut anybody off. We haven't seen anything like that. California Highway Patrol, they're behind them. The lights and sirens are going, and it seems to be working. At least it's notifying the public. We've been watching 24 feet at least. He tossed that spike strip out to try to get it in front of the bus there. I'm not sure if it would make contact. I was looking out the window. Justin's on our camera this afternoon. I really couldn't see that if they did. Justin, you think he hit it? Okay. So at any rate, he did make that. We'll see pretty soon. We've talked about this in the past. Those spike strips, it isn't like in the movies. The tire isn't going to blow out and and shred and stuff like that. They're basically little nails that are hollow, and they get stuck up into the tire, and they just let that air out slowly, so that tire deflates slowly. So the driver, he's gonna realize he has a flat tire. It isn't exactly a blowout. But we're gonna keep an eye on the vehicle continuing northbound. Sand Canyon, the next stop up here. But it does almost seem, I don't know if it's the grade. I'm hoping it's a flat tire, but it does seem like that vehicle's slowing down as we're making our way northbound. 14 freeway, passing Sand Canyon on a grade. Bobby? You want to take a peek on the other side? Want to take a peek on the other side? See if the tire went, the driver's side is going down? Yeah, and my battery's dead. We have a perfect storm of bad today. I'm going to lose my scanner. My monitor, I can't see anything. You're going to have to, my monitor, I can't see anything. You're going to have to tell me. It looks solid, doesn't it? That sucks. A helicopter? All right. I think they had another unit making its way a little bit more north. He's right there. Yep. Oh. Yes. Yeah, I do. Yes. Um, no, that's the shot I was looking for right there. That was it. That was good, Justin. Man, the California Highway Patrol helicopter. Bobby, I'm not sure if you're tossing to me or if I'm cutting you off in the middle of a conversation. Some soundboard will be listening, but California Patrol made this has a helicopter over it as well. That was the helicopter that we just showed a moment ago down low. The vehicle itself continuing to climb this grade up here at 14 freeway. We're making our way out towards the Acton area right now. Traffic definitely getting lighter, but the vehicle not driving any faster. California Highway Patrol, again, like I said earlier on, they have a plan. They're not just going to follow it. They are trying to actively figure out a way to bring this thing to a stop. Right now, though, making our way, you can see it, the number 1 lane, that bus, it's loaded. It's, you know, the only thing we know is the driver's behind the wheel. We don't know if that driver is an accomplished driver, meaning somebody that knows that vehicle or understands that, you know, you're driving a 45-foot vehicle that's heavy, or if this is somebody that just has actually stolen that vehicle from that limo company. California Highway Patrol, they might have a little bit better information about what's going on, as in they've been talking to the owner of that company. But right now I can tell you that they just want to bring this thing to a stop. The driving hasn't been erratic. There hasn't been any near misses or anything that we could possibly call extremely. Okay, well, I heard that. Thank you. Did you lose our signal? They might have lost our signal. All right. Oop. Something's going on. Yeah, he's slowing down a lot. Definitely. I think they would have said it. Yeah, he almost stopped there. Oh, I somebody's talking to me. I can't hear you. If you want me to talk, just say go, 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 go. Was that a go? Yes, I can hear you. I heard somebody say, I know you can hear me. You want me to turn my microphone off? Okay. Yes. Oh, what? Off or up? Test, test, test. It is on. It is on. I can't make out what she's saying. Yeah, okay. What is this? There are people actually passing the California Highway Patrol at the bottom. Yeah. I was actually thinking maybe it's the owner of the company. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Right? A little bit better, yes. Yeah, I can barely make a. It's not an on or off. It's like you guys are in static, and I'm trying to pick up what you're saying. Okay, if I hear you, I'll start talking. No doubt about it. You're welcome. We're gonna get fuel at Fox. Yep, yep, there is. Here comes another spike strip. Another spike strip. I'm telling you, don't worry about it. And no, they didn't do it. I don't know why. He just went right by it. It was the SUV and a motorcycle cop. I don't know. Bobby, we've been watching. There was another chance for another spike strip, and they just didn't do it. The officers decided probably it was a little too dangerous, or there was something that caused them not to. So that was over there at Sierra Highway, at the 14 northbound Sierra Highway. Acton is where we are. Crown Valley is coming up, is going to be the next off-ramp. You know, that party bus at one time, you have to excuse me, I haven't had the luxury of hearing you earlier on. Almost came to a stop there on the 14 for a moment or two. We thought maybe something had happened or the vehicle had conked out, but it just kind of really came to an almost stop and then continued down on the northbound 14 freeway. You know, the California Highway Patrol, they're doing what they can to track this vehicle. I heard one of the calling in and giving the information that they had, and they were talking about that, and I was listening in. Best I could is that I have a feeling that that driver knows what they're doing, possibly somebody that's driven a vehicle like that before, because we haven't seen anything too erratic except for that at the last moment to take the 14. The bus itself been basically staying at little better than freeway speeds. That's a great shot right there, Justin, showing the California Highway Patrol helicopter above of it and talking to the officers down there on the ground. Same type of deal like Skyfox. They're going to kind of just keep with it and relay information to the officers, and if they need something, like what's going on ahead, things like that, that helicopter will take care of it. And if they actually need it at the end, that we've seen it in the past, that helicopter will land where it is safe, and an officer will get out to actually conduct or help in conducting an arrest. Right now, though, this one just seems to be a slow-moving party bus. This vehicle moving along right here. It has been an uphill grade the entire time, so whatever gas mileage that vehicle or diesel, you know, it was getting, it's going to be a little bit worse. And hopefully they just didn't have that thing filled up when it was taken, because these, you know, how do you stop something like that? Yes, they're using spike strips. There was one actual attempt, and then a second one where they kind of just aborted it at the last moment. Not really sure why, but you know, we talked about doing the pit. they're not going to do it on the freeway. They're not going to do it when speeds are up this high. And that vehicle itself, like you said, it's big, it's heavy, it's lumbering is probably a good word for it. But in the end, it's the driver. That's that vehicle isn't going on its own. The driver's driving it. That's the person making the decisions. Right now, that person's making a decision not to stop. And it just continues on. There's another California Highway Patrol vehicle, and this is the thing too. I don't think that one is actually going to do any kind of pit maneuver just where it's located on the freeway. A lot of these officers, they're out here patrolling. I'm sure they want to get involved in this chase, but they've got a different job to do. Actually, it's on the go, so they're probably switching off. It's probably another officer taking somebody else's spot. But again. This is just going to go till it stops. I know that sounds almost like, I'm trying to be funny or poking fun at it, but it's the truth with this one. That's a big vehicle. They can try to get those spike strips ahead of it. The driver's the one that's going to make that decision to bring it to an end. But right now, that driver just continuing to go and go. He's going to enjoy his last couple of moments of freedom, because when this is over, he's going to go in handcuffs, and hopefully he's going to go in the back of a police car and nothing else. Right now, though, this is just continuing on, a little better than freeway speeds. We're making our way into Palmdale. Going to start some downhill, so whatever he lost in gas mileage, he might gain here in a little bit. Bobby? Wires. Pear Blossom. He's taking Pear Blossom. I don't want to cut off Den, but we're taking Pear Blossom. We're getting off the freeway. So we're getting off the freeway. Yeah, we're going to lose IFB again. We're going to lose our signal altogether. Yeah. Okay. Oh, he's not taking Pear Blossom. He's taking the other one. He's taking Sierra. This would be a good place to take it down. Throw some spike strips in front of it. They could have, Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like he's on the wrong side of the road. Sierra Highway. It's okay. They probably don't have us. You can bump it up, but Whoa! Whoa! Yep. Yes. He just crashed. He just crashed. He just crashed. Just crashed. Yep. Orbit. Orbit. Well, it's one of those situations where I'm always kind of torn on really how to report this. That was a pretty solid hit to that back of that vehicle that you saw there, that little silver car. That little silver car kind of sitting by itself, wrong side of the road. Other folks on Sierra Highway seem to know what's going on, but other vehicles are kind of coming up to it right now. And what's going on right now is the driver's door is open, so I'm thinking that that driver's just going to kind of give himself up after realizing what just happened here. Don't know why that really happened. I mean, that all the vehicles were moving, pretty along at a pretty good clip. I'm keeping an eye on one. I'm looking out the window at that smashed car and looking at the driver going into custody right there. There you go. That's one of those ones. I always hate to be saying that. It does appear to be a female driver, and it looks like she is going into custody right now after that accident. But I'm really concerned about those folks in that car. You'd think that one of the California Highway Patrol or somebody from California Highway Patrol would get a vehicle over there just to say, hey, are you okay? But right now they're taking that driver into custody, that vehicle, that party bus. It came to a stop probably because it couldn't go anymore. That female driver going into custody right now. And also, there's a lot of other civilians down there by that other vehicle. Nobody's checking on that person at all. It's right there. You went past it. It's the one that's sitting. Keep going up, keep going up, keep right there, that one. And, that's the thing. It's like nobody has kind of made their way over there. Somebody has. I just noticed somebody has. There people from that white truck. So, look at that car. That trunk completely gone. That was a pretty hard hit. Hopefully they're going to be okay. That driver of the party bus in custody right now. California Highway Patrol, they have to clear that vehicle. But I really hope they have at least made a call for an ambulance, and maybe some of the responding officers will make their way down there to see if that civilian, if it's just that person by themselves, is okay. The person from the pickup truck making their way back over to that civilian's vehicle right now, and that's the thing. Even if they are okay and it just was like a hard hit, you just want to say, are you okay? We just don't know. But right now, the party is over. And you can see those officers making their way over to that vehicle. They have to clear it. We've seen this on all the pursuits. This one a little bigger, a little more unusual. But again, what a shame of an ending out here with that party bus just rear-ending some poor civilian this afternoon on Sierra Highway out here in the Palmdale area. Bobby. Yeah. She's in custody. Right there. Very dangerous indeed, and anytime it ends with something with, anybody hurt, it is always tragic. Hopefully, and we know that there's no loss of life here, but the driver of that vehicle, thank goodness some of these motorcycle officers one of them at least, went over there to make sure that that driver is okay. And that is really important to see that. There's communication going on right there. You can see the driver of the vehicle talking. So these are all huge pluses. But you can see what a hard hit that was. I mean, the entire back of that car, the trunk area completely gone. The party bus damaged to the point where it can't go anymore. Probably took out the radiator and et cetera. But it's just sad. And for what? That's the big thing. Is like I'm always really curious. I get asked that all the time, and it's so hard to find out. But why? why did that person take that bus? Why did we all go on this ride with them? And to have it end with something like that. I'm still watching over at the party bus. The drivers definitely in custody. Officers are walking around Sierra Highway. That's going to be a little bit of a different thing. They're probably going to get this cleared shortly, but I would say probably no movement east or west out here until they have at least those vehicles off the roadway. And I do know that county fire has been called, but we're in a spot right now that it's not that convenient for them. It's going to be a minute or two before